I'm Mark Amsler.
And I'm Cris.
We are introducing you to our paper entitled Leadership and Responsibilisation in the Neoliberalised University, a New Zealand Perspective. Our paper explores how new forms of leadership and management in the contemporary neoliberalised or for-profit-oriented university are replacing collegial and collaborative ideals with a discourse of individual responsibility or responsibilisation.
We usually think of responsibility and responsible in terms of empowerment, maturity, care for oneself and others, or expectations for civilized society and sociability. But neoliberal responsibilisation entails a very different set of expectations and semantics.
We argue responsibilisation performs an increasingly centralized, even authoritarian form of management, particularly in organizations like public universities. In our paper, we build on Michel Foucault's idea of governmentality, which entails the application of market capitalism to organizations of people and spaces. In this sense, responsibilisation is a political project for reshaping people's behaviors and sense of self. Responsibilisation offers managerial tools for refashioning individuals as self-managed and neoliberal subjects.
Our case study shows how these ideas have become embedded in everyday institutional practices. We use critical discourse analysis to examine key policy documents at one of New Zealand's self-described leading and world-ranked universities. In this institution, responsibilisation discourse assigns new meanings to the term leadership in order to redefine and measure everyone's performance through a single set of top-down productivity descriptors.
By redefining all work, especially research and publication, as leadership, these policy documents seek to mobilize the academics, quote, to contribute their leadership skills to taking the university forward. The policy discourse promotes, quote, a culture of distributed leadership and encourages, quote, all staff to play a leadership role.
So far, so good. Maybe. All staff are expected to contribute to the university's strategic goals within a space of shared governance and collective responsibility. But in practice, distributed leadership here amounts to a system of indirect management and a realignment of academic and intellectual work as quantifiable, commercialized productivity. And as always, the devil is in the detail and in the discourse.
The university's 2013 initiative called Leadership Framework was modeled on similar initiatives at other research-led universities, such as Melbourne, Hong Kong, and UC Berkeley. At the same time, the university's senior management team changed its name to the Senior Leadership Team, and the Vice Chancellor announced that the framework, a grid of expectations and outcomes, would be central to the university's strategic plan and used in every staff member's yearly academic performance review. The framework identifies behaviors expected for successful university leadership and prioritizes those which promote commercialization and entrepreneurship.
For example, one document states, and I quote, a successful leader displays an understanding of the international and commercial context in which the university operates, quote, identifies strategic opportunities, seeks continuous improvement, and adapts to change. But the senior professor as leader demonstrates, quote, an understanding of the competitive global environment and key market drivers, and uses this understanding to seize initiatives, expand into new markets, and deliver programs with commercial acumen. Responsibilised leadership here is defined as opportunities and targets for returning profit to the university. So where is the core business of teaching, learning and research in the leadership framework? Where is intellectual leadership?
This university's leadership framework reflects a wider trend, redefining academic work as market-driven entrepreneurship in a global knowledge economy. Responsibilized workers, then, are self-driven, go-getting subjects who deliver the university's strategic vision, now cast as a transnational business enterprise.
This is not the way to run a university as a knowledge-making or transforming space. Responsibilisation co-opts academics in the service of a commercial enterprise which excludes other values and activities such as curiosity-driven research and scholarship, social responsibility or cultural empowerment. Responsibilised leaders tend to produce soul-destroying conformity and disillusionment amongst academics.
Neoliberal responsibilization deploys the language of caring and engagement to prioritize brand recognition, revenue, and profitability. One of the framework guides speaks of continuing capability and self-improvement.
It states, try cutting and pasting suggestions from the guide into your Outlook calendar as a regular 5 to 15-minute appointment with yourself. Be sure to allow time to inspire yourself and to inspire and enable others.
This managerial language, presented as self-care, empties the discourse of any social or intellectual value. Neoliberal responsibilization, highly corrosive and destructive, is fundamentally transforming the meaning of the public university and destroying its social mission.